Turning now to politics and the upcoming midterm elections, Republicans are looking to keep control of the House and gain control of the Senate, pushing issues that aim at Obamacare and other issues that Republicans believe will create some momentum against their Democratic rivals. Joining us now, the National Republican Senatorial Committee Chairman, Kansas Senator Jerry Moran. Welcome, Senator. Great to have you here today.
Uma, my pleasure. Great to be with you. Thank you.
Let me ask you this. Why are you and your colleagues more hopeful that the midterms will be good to the GOP Senate hopefuls this time around?
Well, Uma, I've been listening to your program, waiting to come on the air, and all the issues that you've discussed with your guests this morning and the news that you've reported sure indicates to me that the need for leadership in this country is so great. And so many challenges our country faces, both domestically with the economy, with the Affordable Care Act and health care, but internationally as well. And again, at every instance that the topics that you've talked about this morning, who is leading our country matters. And I think the American people are desirous of a change. In fact, you've seen national polls. The one I saw this morning, New York Times, CBS News. 63% of Americans say our country, they believe our country is headed in the wrong direction. And that translates into the possibility they're willing to give Republicans a greater role to play in setting the stage and providing the leadership for the direction our country goes.
Now, as I understand it, you believe states like Alaska, Arkansas, Louisiana, and North Carolina are vulnerable this time around. What's the strategy to bring those seats over to the GOP?
Well, Uma, in all instances across the country, I think jobs, the economy, people's security, how they feel about themselves, and their family, their family's future, is front and center. And yet they've seen nothing. This Senate, this president has done nothing in the 3 years that I've been a United States Senator to move the country's economy in the right direction so people have a better chance at a better job, more security. We have states in this country that are up for election with Democrat incumbents, and we have a number of open seats. The seats that I think that you mentioned are ones in which we have Democrat incumbents who at 96, 97, 98% of the time, sometimes 99% of the time, have been lockstep with President Obama and his policies. And those policies are not important, and they're not taking the country in the right direction. So places like Alaska, places like Arkansas, Louisiana, North Carolina are ones that Republicans have good candidates, in fact, great candidates, and have the potential of certainly carrying the election 6 months from next Sunday.
How do you see Obamacare playing into this debate in the way that will resonate with the American people? Because obviously a lot of people are frustrated with many aspects of the implementation of Obamacare, yet people are looking for some real fixes here and not simply just criticism about the plan. They want to see some real solutions.
No, I agree with that, and I think Republicans have and need to have plans for improving our health care delivery system. But I will tell you that Obamacare creates so many challenges, so many problems, both on the economic side as well as the access to health care side of the equation, that serious changes, alterations have to occur. But it doesn't mean that Republicans believe that our health care system today is perfect. And I think we have to deal with the pre-existing condition, for example. Those are things that matter. A number of Republican senators have combined their efforts to create new suggestions, new plans for dealing with health care. But I think the overriding thing about the Affordable Care Act is that the president and Democrat senators did not tell the truth when they spoke to the American people about its consequences. And now many of them are saying, oh, these unintended consequences, we didn't know this was going to happen. Unintended consequences are still consequences that are so damaging to the country. And the idea that Americans were told if you like your health care policy, you can keep it. If you like your physician, you can keep him or her as your physician. So those things weren't true, and they transcend the idea of health care. Americans can put up with the debate, a different attitude and approach to what we need to do with health care, but they expect every elected official to tell them the truth, and that has not happened time and time again with Democrat senators in defending their votes, and certainly in President Obama in supporting, continuing to support Obamacare. And most of our Democrat candidates that are up for election in 2000 And 14, continue to defend and support Obamacare despite what has occurred that demonstrates its significant challenges and problems to the American people, to everyday folks.
Senator, I know there's a lot riding in this election, and of course the American people are looking for accountability on both sides of the aisle, from Democrats and Republicans. So this election is going to be one that's going to be quite pivotal, and I appreciate you joining us today with your insights.
Great. We have wonderful candidates. That's what America needs, is good candidates who will serve the country well.
Thank you, Senator.